have you ever wondered if wealth really equates to happiness? Could there be more to this equation? Let's take a step back in time, all the way to ancient Greece, where a philosopher named Epicurus posed a similar question. He believed that happiness wasn't found in extravagant pleasures or excessive accumulation of material wealth. No, the key to happiness, Epicurus argued, was simplicity and the cultivation of modest pleasures. Fast forward to our modern era, and we see a resurgence of this ancient wisdom in the form of minimalism. Minimalism is not about deprivation or living with the bare minimum. Instead, it's about focusing on what truly matters, using just enough to achieve happiness and prosperity. It's about decluttering not just our physical spaces, but also our minds and lives from unnecessary excesses. This is not a new concept, it's an age-old philosophy repackaged for our contemporary world. It's a perspective that asks us to reassess our priorities, to question the relentless pursuit of more, and to consider that perhaps less could indeed be more. Minimalism, like Epicurus's philosophy, encourages us to seek satisfaction in simplicity. It prompts us to find joy and contentment in the ordinary and to appreciate the immense value that lies within the small, everyday moments of our lives. It's about understanding that the path to a happy and prosperous life doesn't necessarily involve accumulating more, but rather it's about celebrating and embracing the beauty of less. And so, we find ourselves circling back to our original question: does wealth equate to happiness? Well, if we take Epicurus's philosophy and the principles of minimalism into account, it seems the answer might not be as straightforward as we initially thought. The equation is complex, and it involves more than mere material wealth. It involves our values, our priorities, and our understanding of what truly constitutes happiness and prosperity. In essence, the belief is that true happiness doesn't come from excessive accumulation, but from simplicity. Ironically, wealth, which many people strive for, can be a source of stress and isolation. The desire for more, the fear of losing what we have, can lead us down a path of constant worry and disconnection from the people and experiences that truly matter. Consider the paradox of wealth accumulation. On the one hand, it's seen as a marker of success, a symbol of achievement. On the other hand, the pursuit of wealth often involves working long hours, sacrificing personal relationships and neglecting one's health. This relentless pursuit can lead to stress, isolation, and even a sense of emptiness. Epicurus, the ancient Greek philosopher, warned us about this. He believed that excessive accumulation does not lead to happiness. He argued that extravagant pleasures, the ones often associated with wealth, are not only unnecessary but can also be detrimental to our well-being. In today's society, this seems counterintuitive. We're constantly bombarded with messages that equate wealth with success, happiness, and fulfillment. But let's take a step back and examine this belief. Is the person who works 80 hours a week, neglecting their health and relationships, truly successful? Are they genuinely happy? Let's look at it from a different angle. Imagine a person who has enough to meet their needs, spends quality time with loved ones, enjoys simple pleasures, and maintains a healthy lifestyle. They may not have a hefty bank balance or a garage full of luxury cars, but aren't they rich in what truly matters? This is not to say that wealth is inherently bad. Indeed, wealth can provide comfort, security, and opportunities. But the key is balance. It's about recognizing that wealth is a tool, not a goal. It's about understanding that the pursuit of wealth should not come at the expense of our health, relationships, and personal fulfillment. So it's worth pondering, how do we define wealth? Is it merely about money and material possessions? Or is it about well-being, relationships, experiences, and personal growth? It appears that wealth and material values do not necessarily make a person rich in the true sense. The world's value system hasn't changed in over 2,000 years, but is it leading us to happiness? Since time immemorial, societies across the globe have placed high value on wealth, reputation, longevity, and achievements. Conversely, lack of money, a poor social standing, a tarnished reputation, or an untimely demise are often met with scorn and condemnation. This societal valuation has a profound impact on the way we live our lives. We constantly seek what the world values and shun what it condemns. We spend our days and nights in an endless cycle of acquisition and avoidance, always striving for more and always fearing less. But the question is, does this relentless pursuit truly lead us to happiness? happiness? The answer, unfortunately, is often a resounding no. In fact, this chase often leads to feelings of panic, despair, and unhappiness. Even when we manage to acquire what we think we want, we're left with a lingering sense of discontentment. Why? Because the world's value system is fundamentally flawed. It is based on external transitory factors rather than internal enduring ones. Our happiness, contrary to what we've been led to believe, does not hinge on our bank balance, our social status, or our list of accomplishments. True happiness is a state of mind. It comes from within and is independent of external circumstances. It is about being content with what we have, rather than constantly striving for what we don't. Rich people, despite their wealth, often live in constant fear of losing what they have. They work long hours, often at the expense of their health, well-being and relationships. They are isolated by their wealth, trapped in a golden cage of their own making. The world's value system is not just flawed, it's destructive. It encourages us to pursue things that don't bring us lasting happiness and to ignore those that do. It's time to question this system, to reassess what we value. Instead of chasing after wealth, reputation, and achievements, perhaps we should be seeking contentment, peace of mind, and simple, accessible pleasures. Perhaps it's time to reassess what we value. Choosing accessible pleasures over worldly values can be a path to true happiness. This perspective isn't new, and it's been championed by philosophers throughout history. Take Thoreau, for instance. He lived a life of simplicity, finding joy in the world around him. His wealth wasn't measured in gold or precious gems, but in the rustle of leaves underfoot, the song of a bird at dawn, the peaceful solitude of a forest. His life was rich in experiences, not possessions. Thoreau cautioned us against developing a taste for what he deemed unnecessary luxuries, and it's easy to see why. Once we start craving the things we don't need, we're on a treadmill that never stops. The more we have, the more we want, and when we can't get what we want, we're left feeling unsatisfied, discontent. But the things we need for true happiness aren't found in a store. They're all around us, within our reach, waiting to be discovered. So, what if we shifted our focus from worldly values? Instead of seeking out the latest gadget, the flashiest car, the biggest house, we could find pleasure in the simple things: the smell of fresh-baked bread, the sound of laughter, the warmth of a hug, the beauty of a sunset. These are the true luxuries, the things that bring us joy and enrich our lives. Maybe richness is found in simpler, cheaper pleasures. It's easy to think that expensive things bring more pleasure, but is that really the case? Let's challenge this notion by exploring the concept of cheap pleasures. These pleasures are not necessarily about money, but rather about accessibility and simplicity. The 19th century thinker Robert Chambers found wealth in the simple pleasure of reading. He saw it as an inexpensive activity that could transport you to different worlds, introduce you to new ideas, and stimulate your mind. Similarly, Arthur N. Eyre highlighted the value of intellectual pleasures such as poetry, learning, and meditation. These activities require minimal resources, yet they provide immense satisfaction and enrichment. But let's not forget about non-intellectual pleasures. These are often overlooked, yet they too have a role in our pursuit of happiness. Schopenhauer, for instance, categorized these pleasures as lower category, but noted that they are easily accessible and often come with a sense of satisfaction. And then there's Epicurus, who emphasized the value of simple activities like cooking and walking. These are everyday experiences, yet they carry the potential to bring us joy, contentment, and a sense of fulfillment. So you see, the idea that expensive things bring more pleasure can be quite intimidating and misleading. In reality, it's the simple, accessible pleasures that can truly enrich our lives. These pleasures, both intellectual and non-intellectual, require minimal resources, yet they offer a wealth of joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. It seems that true richness might be found in the simple and accessible pleasures of life. So why not embrace these pleasures and discover a new path to wealth and happiness? Embracing simple and accessible pleasures can lead to contentment and satisfaction. Consider this: the joy of a home-cooked meal, the serenity of a quiet walk, the elation of mastering a new skill. These are not expensive, extravagant experiences, but they are rich in satisfaction and fulfillment. They require little but offer much. Indulging in such pleasures can reduce stress and effort. There's no need to strive for more, to work late into the night, to sacrifice health and relationships for material gain. The true wealth lies not in the things you possess, but in the experiences you savor, the moments you cherish, the peace of mind you cultivate. Happiness, as philosophers like Schopenhauer have suggested, is intrinsically linked to satisfaction. It's not about having more, but about appreciating what you have. It's about finding joy in simplicity, contentment in the ordinary, fulfillment in the accessible. Perhaps minimalism, focusing on the simple and inexpensive pleasures, is the path to true wealth and happiness.